Ladies and gentlemen, before we start, let me warn you. If you don't delete these 5 things before 2026, your life will not explode. You won't suddenly fail. Nothing dramatic will happen. But something worse will happen. You will stay exactly the same. Same problems, same excuses, same results, and staying the same in a changing world is the most dangerous thing. We are going into a year where AI is exploding. Opportunities are everywhere. New careers are being born every month. And most people are still stuck with the same old habits that expired in 2015. Let me tell you something funny. People upgrade their iPhones every year, but they don't upgrade themselves for 10 years. They will wait 3 hours in line for a new phone, but won't spend 10 minutes to fix their mindset. So today, we are going to upgrade you. Before 2026 arrives, there are 5 things you must delete from your life if you want to grow and not get left behind. And the first one, oh, this one hurts. Ladies and gentlemen, before 2026 arrives, there's one thing you must delete from your life immediately. Your toxic, dramatic, unhealthy, over-emotional relationship with comfort. Yes, comfort. The thing that treats you worse than your worst ex. Comfort promises you everything, gives you nothing, and still expects loyalty. You know how it works. Every night you say, tomorrow I'll wake up at 6 a.m. and start my new life. And every morning at 6 a.m., your bed turns into heaven. You had big dreams last night, and now your bed has kidnapped you. And then there's the gym situation. You buy the shoes, the outfit, the bottle, the headphones, you are ready. You walk into the gym parking lot like, yes, today is my day. But the moment you step out of the car, comfort whispers, you know what? Start on Monday. But every Monday in your life is a public holiday. Monday has never seen you. Your gym subscription knows you only by name. Then there's Netflix. You go for 1 episode, just 1. And 5 hours later, Netflix asks, are you still watching? And you feel judged. Suddenly you know everything about a show you didn't even want to watch in the first place. And don't get me started on your sofa. That sofa is dangerous. You sit down for 5 minutes and boom, 2 hours disappear. You're scrolling and watching people who wake up at 5 a.m., people who built businesses, people who lost weight, people who turned their life around, while you're sitting there eating snacks like, good for them. Comfort is turning you into a spectator, not a player. And then there's TikTok or Reels. My friend, this one is deadly. A study said the average person spends around 95 minutes a day scrolling short videos. 95 minutes. That's not scrolling anymore. That's a part-time job. Imagine if you spent those same 95 minutes learning a skill, building a business, editing videos, reading something useful. By 2026, you'd be unstoppable. But comfort will never allow that. Comfort says, relax, one more reel. And suddenly it's 1 a.m. Your goals are crying, your brain is tired, and comfort is like, good job, king. Cristiano Ronaldo says he never sleeps before finishing his workout. One time his friends invited him to dinner at 11 p.m. He literally said, I can come after training. Tuechu trains at 11 p.m. Someone who broke up with comfort years ago. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Comfort feels amazing right now and destroys you quietly later. Discomfort feels terrible right now, but builds you into someone powerful later. Successful people aren't special. They just don't negotiate with comfort. Virat Kohli completely changed his lifestyle. He literally deleted junk food, late night fun, everything, because he wanted to become world class. Comfort wasn't allowed in his dressing room. Before 2026, you're not deleting comfort. You're deleting the version of you that chooses comfort over progress. The version of you that picks entertainment over education. The version of you that uses sleep as a coping mechanism. The version of you that says, I'll do it later, so many times that later becomes never. Your dreams are allergic to comfort. The moment you get too comfortable, your dreams start dying slowly like a phone on 1%. But if you delete this addiction to comfort, even just a little bit each day, something beautiful will happen. You will start becoming the person your future self will thank you for. Before 2026, delete your addiction to comfort, or comfort will delete your potential. Ladies and gentlemen, the second thing you must delete before 2026 is this poisonous habit of waiting for the perfect moment. Because let's be honest, half of us have been waiting for the right time for so long, the right time has probably blocked us and moved on with its life. You know how we are. We say, I'll start when things settle. My friend, things never settle. Tell me honestly, how many times have you said, I'll start when I feel ready? But every time you feel ready, your brain says, actually, not today. It's like your brain is subscribed to Netflix. Auto delay on. Look around your life. Every dream you have right now is stuck behind one sentence. I'll start soon. But soon is the biggest liar in the world. Soon means next year. Soon means after you fix your life, which you haven't fixed in the last 10 years. Soon means never. And here's the funny part. You delay big dreams for the smallest nonsense. I'll start my diet after this wedding. I'll start studying after this drama finishes. I'll start saving after my cousin returns my $500, which he never will. You're basically planning your entire future around other people's weddings and your cousin's debt. The world doesn't wait for perfect moments. Nobody wakes up one day with everything sorted, the sun shining, birds singing, motivation dancing in your room. Life doesn't work like a motivational commercial. You think people who made it had perfect timing? No, they just stopped waiting. Think about the people you see around you who are doing well. Not famous people, just normal people. Your friend who started a small business with a used laptop. Your cousin who built a side hustle on their phone. Your coworker who learned a new skill while juggling a job. These people didn't wait for extra money, extra time, or extra motivation. They started in chaos. They succeeded in chaos. And you know what's even more universal? Every successful person has a cringe beginning. Their first video was awkward. Their first business plan looked like a 5-year-old wrote it. Their first gym session lasted 5 minutes before they fainted. Their first attempt was not perfect. It wasn't even close. But that's exactly why they got better. Because they started. Most people want to jump to level 10 without ever touching level 1. They want the results, not the process. They want the celebration, not the practice. They want the transformation, not the beginning. But beginnings are ugly. Beginnings are messy. Beginnings are uncomfortable. And that's why most people avoid them. You want to start posting content? Start with your shaky voice. You want to get fit? Start with your unfit body. You want to build confidence? Start with your zero confidence. You want to start a business? Start with a cheap phone and free apps. You want to get better at anything? Start before you're ready. Because ready is a myth. Nobody feels ready for the things that matter. Before 2026 arrives, you need to delete the idea that your life will magically arrange itself into a perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only a perfect excuse. Start today. Start imperfect. Start without a plan. Start with fear. Start quietly. Start embarrassed. Start unsure. Start tired. Start messy. But start, because one day you will look back and realize that the only wrong time was every moment you didn't take action. Ladies and gentlemen, the third thing you must delete before 2026 is this sneaky little habit that disguises itself as wisdom. But in reality, it's holding you back faster than a traffic jam in rush hour. And that habit is complaining instead of solving. Yeah, complaining. We all do it. You do it. I do it. Your neighbor does it. The guy selling coffee on the corner does it. Everybody does it. And yet complaining feels like action, doesn't it? It feels like we're doing something. I'm frustrated. I'm stressed. I'm angry. Congratulations. You just wasted 15 minutes of your life and you still have the same problem. And the examples are everywhere. We all know someone like this. The coworker who spends the entire day complaining about the boss, but doesn't apply for another job. The friend who complains about their body, but doesn't move an inch outside the gym or the kitchen. The person who complains about money, but spends 3 hours scrolling shopping apps. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That is comfort disguised as action, fear disguised as voice, and laziness disguised as I have opinions. Even worse, complaining is contagious. Once you start, everyone around you joins in. Suddenly you're in a group chat where everyone's main activity is whining about traffic, inflation, politics, and life. The energy is negative, the motivation is zero, and your goals are slowly evaporating while you're debating who has the worst life story. Here's a funny truth. Social media is basically a giant complaining simulator. We scroll through people complaining about their lives, and we get satisfaction because, hey, at least we're not them, right? But secretly, we're copying the habit. We scroll, we complain internally, we feel justified in doing nothing. By 2026, if we don't delete complaining, we'll be the generation that has excuses for everything and results for nothing. Now, let's look at people who actually delete complaining from their lives. Like your friend who started cooking at home instead of complaining about takeaway prices. Every week they post pictures of their food, and now they're healthier and richer than the people who just complained about food inflation. Or your cousin who hated their job, but instead of crying, started learning a skill on YouTube for 1 hour a day. Fast forward 6 months, they have clients, projects, and confidence, all because they stopped whining and started acting. Even students, the ones who complain about assignments, exams, or teachers, the ones who switch from complaints to action, even just a little, suddenly pass with flying colors. Complaining never solved a problem, but action always does. And the beautiful thing is, action doesn't need to be perfect. Small steps accumulate. Complaints, they evaporate into thin air and leave you right where you started. The point is simple. Before 2026, delete complaining from your life. Notice when you are whining, gossiping, or blaming the world. Stop talking about the problem. Start looking for the solution. Complaining is easy. Solving is hard. But easy doesn't change anything. Hard builds you. Easy makes you smaller. Hard makes your life bigger. Easy keeps you in the crowd. Hard makes you stand out. Before 2026, if you want to grow, if you want to leave average behind, delete complaining. Treat it like deleting a virus from your phone. Delete it, or it will slow your life down until you crash. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth thing you must delete before 2026 is this invisible trap that feels safe but slowly eats your life like termites in wood. And that trap is overthinking and self-doubt. Yes, overthinking, the little voice in your head that turns every small decision into a full-blown epic saga. It's like having a personal Bollywood director in your brain, adding unnecessary drama to everything. Should I post this video? Should I text them back? Should I start this project? And before you know it, hours have passed. Your brain is tired, and your life hasn't moved an inch. Let's be honest. Overthinking is universal. Everyone does it. You, me, your neighbor. That stranger in the elevator probably just imagined 100 ways the floor could collapse. Think about the relatable moments. Like choosing what to eat becomes a life-altering event. You open the fridge, stare at leftovers, think about calories, think about taste, think about your future health, think about the history of the dish, and somehow end up ordering pizza anyway. Congratulations! Your overthinking just wasted 20 minutes of your life and gave your wallet a workout. Even bigger things suffer. People overthink starting a business, moving to a new city, learning a new skill. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I waste time? My friend, the only thing that wastes time is overthinking. Not trying, not failing, not starting. Overthinking. And here's the universally funny truth. Social media made overthinking 1,000 times worse. Every day you scroll and see someone posting perfect lives, perfect meals, perfect vacations. And your brain goes, ah yes, I am clearly not doing enough. Let me analyze 50 ways I am failing before breakfast. Congratulations. You just spent an hour doing nothing and feeling miserable. Look at ordinary people who got it right. Your classmate who didn't overthink and just applied for that internship got it. Your friend who didn't overthink and started a YouTube channel with a phone and zero editing skills blew up. Your cousin who didn't overthink and asked someone out, now happily dating. None of them had perfect timing, perfect skills, or perfect plans. They just started. Imperfect, messy, scared, confused. But they started. Think about the barista who opened a tiny coffee shop in the neighborhood, even though everyone said it was impossible. No overthinking, just action. Today, they have a line out the door. Or the neighbor who started running 5 minutes a day despite being overweight and now runs marathons. Or the college kid who made a small website as a side project and eventually landed a dream job. None of them waited for perfect conditions. None of them paralyzed themselves with doubt. Here's the truth. Self-doubt is natural. Overthinking is optional. Before 2026, you must delete this habit. Stop talking yourself out of opportunities. Stop imagining 50 ways it can fail. Stop rehearsing your mistakes before they happen. Start messy. Start unsure. Start scared. Start imperfect. Because the perfect you who never overthinks, he doesn't exist. The perfect moment also doesn't exist. Delete overthinking. Delete self-doubt. Make small decisions fast. Take imperfect actions and learn along the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth and final thing you must delete before 2026 is this invisible weight that's quietly holding you back even when you think everything else is under control. And this one is tricky. because it wears the mask of responsibility or realism or being practical. But in reality, it's people-pleasing and seeking approval. Yes, the habit of worrying about what others think before doing anything meaningful. And let me tell you, nothing will kill your momentum faster than letting everyone else decide your life for you. We all do it. You know the feeling. You have a great idea, a small dream, or even a funny TikTok you want to post. But then you pause. What will people say? Will they judge me? What if my friends laugh? And suddenly the post isn't posted, the idea isn't launched, the moment isn't seized. Congratulations, you just turned potential into regret. And all for an audience that honestly isn't even paying attention. Look around. This habit is everywhere. Your friend who never shares their talent because people might laugh. Your cousin who doesn't start a business because family might criticize. Your neighbor who doesn't wear what they want because someone might gossip. And here's the kicker. Those people gossiping, half the time they're too busy worrying about themselves to even notice you. Even small things in life show how ridiculous this can get. You choose shoes based on compliments instead of comfort. You post pictures carefully cropped instead of authentic. You mute your opinions in meetings because someone might think you're too ambitious. Your life becomes a careful, filtered version of what others want instead of the wild, messy, exciting thing it could be. Here's the relatable, universal truth. People who succeed, whether in life, business, or just happiness, stop giving a flying thought to approval. Your favorite Instagram influencer didn't become famous because they asked for permission. That barista opening a tiny cafe didn't run a focus group for approval. The kid starting a podcast in their bedroom didn't get everyone's okay, they just started. Delete this habit before 2026. Stop waiting for validation. Stop curating your life to fit other people's opinions. Stop letting approval decide your actions. It's exhausting, it's unnecessary, and it is literally stealing years from you. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to understand, and you definitely don't need their permission to live the life you're meant to live. Imagine a life where you stop caring about the gossip, the side eye, the silent judgments. Imagine making bold choices, trying things, failing, laughing, and learning without ever asking for permission. That's the life you can have. A life where 2026 becomes a launch pad instead of another year of hesitation. So before 2026, delete comfort, delete waiting for the perfect moment, delete complaining, delete overthinking, and delete the obsession with other people's approval. That's 5 things. 5 invisible chains you're cutting from your life. Do this, and you won't just survive 2026, you'll transform it. You'll wake up every morning excited instead of anxious. You'll take action instead of waiting. You'll speak, create, build, and laugh freely. And the best part, you won't just be better. You'll be unstoppable. 2026 is coming. Delete these 5 things, and the world won't know what hit it. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.